right, we on. Just okay. All right. What a day. What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine.
And I am still James.
We have some technical difficulties, but we are attempting to get it together. I hope the stream is coming up. We'll know soon enough. So, we got a couple of movie reviews, man. We watched, oh God, Eurovision, the Fire Saga
Eurovision
story.
Song Contest, the story of Fire Saga.
Thank you. It's a long title, man. It's like one of them. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry and all that stupid shit. Like, we're gonna get into all that. So before we do our review, and we also gonna do My Spy. This is a great day for reviews. Before we get into our reviews, we got intro. All right, we back. So saying that the stream not looking good, it's on red. That usually means that it's not really strong. Well, it's going from red to yellow. Now it's going green. Okay. Look like we might be good. So anyway.
Okay, so I guess we're good.
Yeah, all right. If you say so. All right. So we watched Fire Saga, the story of Eurovision, the story of Fire Saga Song Contest. Will Ferrell.
That full paragraph title.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you like this, man. Before I go anywhere with this review, Will Ferrell just needs to retire. I ain't going to say he needs to retire. I'm tired of this shit. Will Ferrell lost me a long time ago. And and this is just him. It's just like him just keep going with his same act. And we're gonna talk about all that. First off, how did you like this movie?
This was a film. I'm not the biggest fan of musical films in general, you know. And for this not to technically be a musical, there was way more music than I wanted.
I think they used that to stretch out the length.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was going to be a lot of music in a movie about a song contest.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I knew it was coming. It was kind of like a cheap trick to pad out your running time. So this was Netflix like #1 over the weekend. That's why I was like, you know, we might as well go ahead and watch and get this review off. It was #1, so it got some popularity.
I see that top 10 list is really about something.
Well, I mean, right now that's all we could do is Netflix because the movie theaters ain't open, and when they do open, they're gonna still be limited seating in them. So I'm not really gonna rush out to the movie theaters. I might go see Tenet, or I want to see Tenet, but I'm not gonna rush out to the theaters because this seems to be more trouble than it's worth now. So I'm kind of staying on Netflix. So this is #1 over the weekend, and your boy Will Ferrell. So they came out with the little trailer first, and nobody knew what the hell this trailer was because he was out there looking like that boy looking like Thor on the trailer. Everybody's like, what the fuck? So I mean, this is what he's wearing on the trailer. I got a picture up. You can't see it, but he dressed like Thor on the trailer.
I remember.
And and Rachel McAdams behind him, like
not outfit you can forget, man.
And everybody's like, what is this? Is this a Thor parody or something? You know, they sing it, and I'm like, what is this? You know, so they kind of got you a little bit on the marketing because it was kind of cool looking, you know. But you know, I kind of knew once I saw the trailer and not just the little clips, I knew what I was in store for with Will Ferrell, man. This was about a books, about a numbers comedy, romantic comedy. Will Ferrell doing his same old act, and I was like, dude, I just wasn't impressed for somebody who been doing this a long time. You would think they learn from their mistakes and then they get better and better and better. No, some people just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you know what I'm saying, and do cash grabs. Yeah. Adam Sandler was the same way. What you think about the comedy in this movie? 'Cause it's a romantic comedy, basically.
It's a romantic comedy, but it's a Will Ferrell movie first.
Yeah, true.
So it's the same comedy you get in all of his movies. You know, you have him making a fool of himself,
right?
Him thinking he's the best person in the whole story.
He the only person that don't know that he sucks.
It's what? Yeah, I mean, like, what was that movie he did? Daddy's Home. Like, this is the same movie, but as a romantic comedy.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Will Ferrell, I liked him early in his career, and some of his older movies, like in the early 2000s, like Talladega Nights, and a few of them. Yeah. I really like those, like Step Brothers. But once you got past that, you're like, okay, we like that. What else you got? And then he just give you the same thing. You know what I'm saying? He give you that same.
That's pretty much his shtick at this point. Is he's some lovable idiot who doesn't realize he sucks.
Yeah.
And everybody else kind of just goes along with him.
Right. And and then we could talk about the little romantic angle in this, because this is basically, it's a romantic comedy basically, where Rachel McAdams is his song partner, is best friends since they was childhood, and it's the same stick right here, right? It's like, she liked me, but I don't realize it until something comes between us. I mean, they do this on these romantic comedies all the time, right? They're best friends that should be in a relationship, but they're not, and they don't realize they like each other until somebody else come along and break them up or whatever.
Again, this is Will Ferrell. So the only person who isn't aware of it is Will Ferrell.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And everybody else. Right, everybody see, oh yeah, I like each other or whatever. But everybody kept calling them brothers and sisters because they was like, yeah, you can't be with this guy because he's a loser and you hot.
So it's that, and also, if y'all ain't brother and sister, and you clearly been throwing it at him, how come he ain't picked it up yet?
Right.
And so y'all must be brother and sister.
Right, and that was a running joke throughout the movie. She kept on acting like, she kept throwing at him, give him hints out that she liked him, and he kind of like kept her in the friend zone. And it's like that they do that shit. He do that shit all the time in his movies, man. He do the same thing. That's why I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It took me 3 times to watch this movie because I had to stop it and come back, because I was like, man, I don't want to see this, but I'm gonna make myself watch it. You know what I'm saying? Because movies like this, you knew what's gonna happen from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Once you say, oh, this is a romantic comedy, well, get out the blueprint. I already know exactly where y'all gonna go with this. And that's exactly what they did. They had insert the I don't know the guy name who played his competition guy, the guy that was trying to get with her.
Dan Stevens.
Yeah.
Dan Stevens, that's the dude that played Legion.
Oh, is it?
Had him playing,
Yeah, so
they had him playing.
Yeah, I know.
They had him playing this Russian dude. Yeah.
Right. But he was his competition. He was the guy, I like her. I want to get with her. So that's what they do in these romantic comedies. So he's not going to realize he like her until somebody else start chasing after her. That's their blueprint. Yeah. So what they did was they just gave you, they do the same blueprint. They just give you a new subject. So the whole subject was the song contest. So what style of music would they just is that just kind of pop? Is that like a Pacific style of music they kind of doing?
I guess like as far as Eurovision as a whole, or Will Ferrell's
Well,
band.
I
I
guess yeah,
guess
his
the band
band.
was like,
I guess it's just pop, right?
I guess Icelandic pop.
Okay.
Icelandic pop, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't sound like the worst thing I ever heard. Another, I'm not gonna just rag on it, but I'm just like, oh, maybe it's kind of like a genre that's kind of big in
Yeah.
Europe or something. I figure, everybody that was doing the competition, it sounded like kind of similar. Everybody had this like pop sound. I guess that's what they kind of
Well,
sound like
because
at the Eurovision or whatever.
yeah.
So
Well, so like
Eurovision.
Eurovision,
All right,
uh,
let's explain what Eurovision is. Do
uh,
you want to do it?
sure. So Eurovision is basically a European song contest. Think of it as like the singing Olympics for Europe. So whoever wins Eurovision, they have like local competitions in each country. Whoever wins in that country goes on to the actual Eurovision competition.
Right.
I think they have a couple of different rounds there, and then whoever wins, I don't know, like I
Be
don't
like
know
a
if
big
like the
pop
actual
star or
winner gets
whatever.
anything, but like but like the country that wins hosts Eurovision for the next year.
Okay, so good synopsis. Well, good analysis. Well, whatever. Uh, um, so Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams got a little singing group. They sing at local bars or whatever, and they trying to win this competition. And like I said, they childhood friends. Rachel McAdams like Will Ferrell. I don't know why. And but she kind of they show she look good, but she's a little weird. She believe in elves and shit. I
Well,
mean,
so I was looking into this movie, and it turns out like she basically got the blueprint for her character from Bjork. I don't know if you remember Bjork,
no.
this wacky. I think she's like Swedish or something. Pop star. Like
Uh-huh.
she was like Lady Gaga before Lady Gaga,
Okay.
but like way weirder.
Okay. So I take it she must be in the elves or something. They had a little subplot where she believed in elves, and they had these little elves. I mean, it was stupid, but it was kind of funny. Just and the matter of fact, they never showed them,
Yeah.
but just seeing that little house was
No.
kind of funny.
Like I think that it's like a thing where like apparently a lot of the old like folk tales and stuff folks still believe in over there.
Yeah,
So like I think that was part of the whole background of that subplot.
yeah. I mean, okay, so we could talk about that little Iceland. So I mean, where the location is. Like, okay, basically they in Iceland and they trying to join the Eurovision is for Europe, and Will Ferrell got this this accent. He's supposed to sound like he's from Iceland or whatever, and I guess it's not the worst, but he loses it. Like every time when he's acting out, he'll lose that accent real fast, and then he try to get it back. I peeped there when I'm listening to it. I'm like, dude, you keep losing your accent. Like you suck. It's like, and we're gonna talk about the singing too in a minute. But
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan is in there as his dad. Same old kind of dad. Like, I'm disappointing you, but at the end, of course, he's gonna realize, I actually love my son or whatever. It's like everything was so stereotypical for these kind of movies in this movie. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of like, oh, okay, here we
Yeah.
go. Same stereotypical dad in these movies. Either you play the dad that's too loving or the dad that's I hate you, son. But he really do love him, but he always telling me hate him or whatever. And at the end, he realized, I'm you're my boy and I love you. I do these all the time. So I mean, Pierce Brosnan did a good job of playing like I don't know where he's from. I don't think he's from Iceland, but he's somewhere in Europe. So he's European. So whatever.
He's Irish, I think.
Yeah, right. That's right. He Irish. Anywho, Rachel McAdams, she did a good job. She probably did the best job out of everybody in the movie because Will
Yeah.
Ferrell just do his whole stick. So let's talk about the singing because when they start off singing, and I don't know if that's her voice, if she actually singing, but she sounds legit. Will Ferrell sounds like trash, and I was like, did he even try?
So for when Rachel McAdams is singing, there's a woman named Molly Sandon that they harmonize with her to make it sound like she's actually hitting those notes.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah.
And so like she was so she's a Swedish pop star. She was in I think she was in Eurovision at one point too.
Okay.
So.
Well, I mean, I figured
there's a lot of people that like apparently there's a lot of former contestants in this movie. So.
Okay. Right. This is going to appeal to the audience of that more to just a general audience. I could tell, but yeah, I was listening. I was like, I'm pretty sure they got somebody either helping her out or whatever because I mean she actually did sound good. Will Ferrell sound like crap, dude. He didn't even try. Like, I was like, I would have been better off if they would have got somebody to sing for him. Serious, I was like, man, he didn't seem like he was trying. He was just like,
they should have.
He was just trying to like the notes he was hitting was like, I can sing like that. It was bad, man. I was like, I know it's a comedy, but it didn't match because hers was sounding good. His sound like an amateur. Hers sound professional. His sound amateur. It didn't work.
Like, also weirdly enough, there's some scenes where they're clearly auto-tuning his voice because they need him to sound good because he needs to be heard. And then when you can tell when they don't expect you to be listening for him because the auto-tune cuts right the F out. And you just got Will Ferrell. Like,
it's bad, man. So yeah, that's how I was like, okay, I would have been better off if y'all would have had him actually good, but just a fuck up, But he sucked. He really do suck. So his dad is right. You ain't good. I mean, maybe they was trying to do. He was. She was good. He wasn't, but she so loyal to him that she won't leave him or whatever. But that would even. They didn't even really play it out like that.
Again.
Right. Whatever.
That would have been a Will Ferrell movie too.
Man, and just like Adam Sandler movie, they always got women that's way hotter. They always end up with women that never would give them a time of day in real life. You know what I'm saying? They always got a super hot wife that they, it's like, man, get out of here, dude. Like, I ain't gonna never forget Adam Sandler in what's that movie, The Remote, with I think he was with Kate Beckinsale. Like, dude, you ain't gonna be with that. Anywho.
And then Grown Ups, he's with Selma Hayek.
Yeah. All right. So so yeah, they they entered this song contest and insanity ensues. How did you like the whole performances parts? I mean, it was okay, I guess. Like I said, I'm not really a fan of this stuff. So it was like, I was looking for the comedy meshing with the singing meshing with the comedy. I didn't think it worked. How did you feel like they did, putting it in the movie, the singing parts with the movie?
I'm not the biggest fan of one, like overproduced stage shows for musical acts, and two, I'm not that big into like elaborate comedy gags.
Mm-hmm.
So like that bit didn't work for me. That bit really didn't work for me. Like it's like I get to those things. I'm like, I wish I could fast forward through this, but I don't want to miss nothing in case something happens here.
Right. And I mean, I feel you because I'm looking like, okay, y'all better make me laugh on this. And I'm watching it and I just felt sorry for him. It wasn't even funny. You know what I'm saying? It's like when they had the little accident, I'm like, that's not funny. As a matter of fact, it looked so dangerous. It looked like old girl could have got killed doing that. Like when her scarf almost got stuck in the thing. I'm like, yeah, she could have died. That's not funny. And I know usually in
Like
comedies,
that whole
I know
yeah,
usually in
that
comedies
whole
they
scene
do
clearly could have been Final Destination.
right. So I know in comedies they usually do a accident that's it is that'll turn bad and it's funny. But no, that accident just would have been fatal and it wouldn't have been funny at all. You know what I'm saying? So I think they failed on the comedy part. But yeah, so that's why I was like, okay, watching it, it's not doing its job. It's making me laugh either. I'm sorry. I mean, it's I got some chuckles out of it on some parts, but a lot of it was a lot of just a lot of whatever. Um, I didn't like. I mean, I did like some parts that when they was in Iceland and dudes said, "Hey, sing the song, something go boom boom or some shit." I forgot the name of the song.
Yeah, ding dong.
Yeah, Josh Ding Dong. So they had some dude, which is common in these movies, some dude that was just like way on 11 at all times. They always got a character like that, and I got some chuckles out of him. That's about it. And Will Ferrell had a lot of close-ups on his face, and his face looks so gross because he looked so old now. He's like he got a super long face that he's look all old and shit. And I'm like, man, why you got all these close-ups like you a handsome guy? You are funny-looking dude with a long-ass face. You know what I'm saying? And we know you're going to get the girl at the end because you always do. Huh?
And his character dressed like a weird-ass 20-year-old.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's part of his stick. But the thing is, why don't you start making more mature movies? Because you're too old for that now. Sorry, you about 50-something, and I imagine you about 50, and you too old to be doing that same character you used to do. It ain't working no more. So yeah, I wasn't crazy about it, and I was just waiting till I told you it took me 3 times to watch it. I mean, I had to watch in 3 sections because I turned it off 2 times, and I was like, okay, because first of all, it's too long for a comedy. Comedy shouldn't go over an hour and a half, but I guess because of all the singing stuff, they stretched it out to 2 hours. Because the second time I turned it off, so I had something to do, and I was gonna come back and finish it up. It was like 28 minutes left, and I was like, dude, it's not 28 minutes left of story to tell. I got the story, you know. He left. Yeah. Well, I could have told this movie they're gonna fail. They're gonna have a breakup moment. He's gonna show a montage of how miserable he is, how miserable she is. And then he's gonna, at the last minute, somebody gonna say something to him. It's gonna convince him to come back. He's gonna come back in the middle of the competition, and they're gonna do some song that she had already had, but that he turned down at first. I could have wrote this movie, you know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what they did. No spoil. I ain't trying to spoil nothing, but it's the same shit. So yeah. So yeah, it was nothing. It was nothing there special, man. Like I said, it was a couple of laughs here and there, but it's the same old Will Ferrell, man. And that's why it got knocked out of the #1 spot after the weekend was over, because people was like, man, I ain't gonna recommend this to nobody. It's the same shit. Yeah. So I'm gonna give it my rating, dude. I would like to. Most of the comedies like this, I usually, if I can get some chuckles out of it, I don't expect it to be a good story, and I don't expect it to be a great plot, because usually they follow a blueprint. But if I can get some chuckles out of it, if you got some people in there that just made me laugh, I'll at least give it a all right, or a rental, But this was below that because it didn't do nothing. It didn't give me nothing for real. It was the same old, and it ended the exact same way I thought it was gonna be. And Will Ferrell do his same shtick. So I give it a whack, man. I was not impressed. I did not like. I didn't laugh that much, and I'm tired of Will Ferrell doing the same thing. So I give it a whack. What you give it?
When I first started watching it, and pretty much all throughout the movie, I kept wanting to say, man, I can't wait to give this movie a hot garbage so I can wipe this from my memory banks and just be done with it. But surprisingly enough, completely going against character, I'm going to bump this one up to a whack just off of the soundtrack. There's a couple
Exactly.
of decent songs on this.
Right. The
And like,
performances was okay.
yeah. So on that alone, if you're the kind of person that likes these, if you're into song contests, if you like Will Ferrell movies, you're probably going to love this movie. If nothing else, check out the soundtrack.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
movie's whack, but the soundtrack's kind of dope.
right. It's an audience for this movie. Special people that one, if you ain't familiar with Will Ferrell movies, you might like it because you might not have seen it over and over again, like I have, like we have. And two, if you like Eurovision or if you like all these song shows, I'm really tired of all that. You got The Voice, American Idol, The Voice, The X Factor. Like everybody didn't copied it so much that I got real tired of this whole format. But if you like that and you like Will Ferrell, you might like this. But if you already familiar with Will Ferrell work, it's lazy work. All right. That is our review for Song Vision, Eurovision the Fire
The
Saga.
Eurovision Contest, the story of Fire Saga.
And you see, I don't even,
swear, man,
I didn't bother
title did
getting
not
the
need to be
title
long.
because it's so shitty. Eurovision
Hey, look,
Song
I had
Contest.
to
Let me do it.
I had to look the movie up. Yeah.
Eurovision Song Contest, the story of the Fire Saga. Boom.
There you go. You got it. Man,
Yeah.
I had to look this movie up because I was trying to be like, okay, so we got to do this movie and this movie. Wait, what was the title of that movie? I just finished watching it last night.
If you go to Netflix, it's number one. It's sitting right there in your face.
Yeah. But like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, y'all. That's how forgettable this movie is. Even with that long ass title, I couldn't remember the title. Even though it was still up on the TV, I couldn't remember the title.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I agree.
take from that what you will.